Well, how the hell are you guys? So, I'm up here at my shop, which is actually at my mother's house. And I know you can't see my face, but there's really no good place to put the phone. But anyways, so up here dubbing around, pawing through stuff. And so, found a bunch of stuff from in this folder of mine, I guess. It's just a bunch of crap. Or, well, not crap, but it's stuff in it from I don't know when. Probably would have been either my junior high or when I was early in high school, but figured I'd go through it with you and show either how retarded I am or how smart I am. It's up to your opinion. But I mean, I guess you could consider it retarded considering I was gonna be a dairy farmer. Still really am trying to be one. Hasn't worked out, but right now I'm kinda, hopefully I can play my cards right within, probably next year or so. Again, and actually have a farm that's semi-close to actually the farm that my dad grew up on. That's no longer part of the family. But it's either, if I can get this place, it's either this place, or if I can really play my cards right, I'm headed to Minnesota or northern Wisconsin. But we'll see how shit goes in the next few months and the next couple years, I guess. And so I'm gonna find a better spot for the camera and I'll be right back. But yeah, so I don't know how well you'll be able to see some of these. Just for ability, I might throw a bunch of pictures up of all this stuff from towards the end or somewheres in here if I can figure out how to do that all in order. So you can get a little better read on them, but you can probably hear the radio too, so whatever. But apparently, I don't know whether you guys are gonna be able to see all of that or what, but there you go. But like I said, I'll probably try to put pictures up. And now this is fairly recent, like a few weeks ago, because since kind of the newest craze in the state of Maine is the whole raw milk stuff where you can sell it to the consumer. And so yeah, so that was a plan. I was thinking about building the barn over to my dad's, but he's kind of a hard guy to get through his head. It's kind of hard to get through his head on stuff. And then we're getting into a little bit older drawings. So this is actually a very unique style. Actually, I think it goes, yeah, it sits this way, I think. Yes, it does, because this is the front of the barn towards the road. But this is actually a barn that's in my neighborhood that my grandfather used to hay the fields way back in the day. But it's a very unique barn that I'd have to actually get a video of, but I can't get a video of that barn because, well, not exactly, don't know the owners, but up at my grandparents' house on my dad's side, they actually have an all original barn that has yet to be messed with, like this barn, in order to update with everything within the 1950s or 60s, because I don't know when this barn was built and I can't really ask my grandfather now, but they put the correct concrete in and tie stalls. But this is one that I can't remember when the hell I did this one, but I know it was fairly old anyways. But yeah, and then here's another one that I drew. I think, yeah, this one was definitely when I was in high school, because this is very kind of a similar design to what my grandfather on my dad's side had, where you would have had the tie stall barn and the parlor and whatnot, but this barn's flipped 180 degrees. but I can do a lot better in-depth video. This is just kind of a spur of the moment and whatever. I found this stuff and I'm not really prepared. And here's another tie stall barn. And if you have probably in a couple more pictures, you'll figure out very fast that I'm very fond of tie stalls. And of course, I didn't really grow up tie stall, kind of more of a half-assed bed pack barn that wasn't really the greatest. And then here's a full out farmyard that I did, but I kind of, yeah. And then here is the one that probably is going to stay around for a long time. This is the one that I was bored one day, and I think it was math class or whatever. My teacher really didn't have much for me to do, and I asked him if he had a ruler, and of course he said yes. And I got really bored and drew all this up, started crunching the numbers, and this one I like the most. And if you can read any of those numbers and make sense of my high school math, go right ahead, because I barely could, and I still really can't. But apparently that day I knew what the hell I was writing down. I really still don't really know what the hell I wrote down and what the hell I scribbled, but yeah, if you can make any sense of that, really don't know which way is good to hold this, but yeah, you can make any sense of it, go right ahead and try. And then I guess this is a piece of paper where I started, where I was trying to see how cheap on a bank loan I could start a farm, which I still think I can do pretty easy. I mean, I'm pretty smart. And then, what's this? Oh, that's just for a tractor. I was looking to fix that, but don't really. And then this right here is actually something that I didn't do. It's something my grandfather did, because right before he passed away in February, so about probably it was March, it might have been actually more like December, because he was still able to go up to his camp, which is actually where he drew this. But it's basically, because I told him, I said to him something about milking cows, and he says, well, you can build the barn up my place. And mind you, he had a stroke and he was in a wheelchair, and he says, well, you can build the barn up here and clear the land, which up where his camp is, it's all on a side hill that, I mean, I don't really care so much about side hills, but these ones are pretty steep, and also the ground is really rocky. In one spot there was a swamp. So, but anyways, there's like 200 plus acres up there, I believe, which is actually not too far from here. But he drew this up, and so I kind of just kept it, because I've always thought about doing that, but I really can't now, considering my cousin lives up there and both my uncles own it. But it's kind of always been in my head there, or I guess dream, or whatever you want to call it, of starting a complete dairy farm from scratch and building all the buildings and clearing the land, which that's a lot of work, but I could care less at some points. It's just been a dream of mine since, hell, I think I was 12 or 13. Well, I started wanting to farm when I was like, I think 6 years old, 5 years old, something like that. Here's another one of those starting papers that I did. Another one, and that is all of them. So I'm not sure. I don't know exactly if this rambling is on any good. I mean, I'm only at a 7-minute video, but that doesn't matter to me. I'm kind of rambling on at this point, but I guess whatever. But I'm thinking I might do a complete history thing on my family. I'm not sure. Depends on if I've got the impatience. But yeah. But anyway, so you're probably going to notice that I've changed my name. But I guess I'll get on to another thing. So I added on to my YouTube handle. I guess, because, I don't know, I was bored and said to hell with it. I was bored and whatnot, and of course my phone's telling me I got a low battery, but we don't care. But so, yeah, so I'm kind of looking at a place that's been in the it's not been in my family, but it's close to where my dad grew up anyways, and about a mile down the road, because it's close to in town. And I mean, the guy that owned that place is actually a good family friend of ours, and I don't know if I'm gonna get it, but he doesn't live there anymore. I don't know the people that live there now. And the biggest issue I have is that there's a large 500 cow dairy in the area that went out of business, but now he's renting out he actually sold the land to some people. But the problem is, with the farm I'm looking at, there's not really enough pasture for as many cows as I want, but I can make it work. I mean, it's not really like I'm concerned, but yeah, so I didn't really change my name, I just kind of added on to it, so yes. So don't freak out. But I'm surprised none of you bastards noticed that I was wearing suspenders in my last video or said anything in the comment section, but whatever. But yeah, so we'll see. I'll give you an update on this if I can do anything, but I figured there's not a lot of people on the YouTube here that are doing this. Like, there's some people that are doing farming from scratch and whatnot, and doing all this crap, farming from scratch and whatnot and whatever, but there's nobody doing it from the dairy perspective. There's always guys doing it from the beef cows perspective. There's guys doing it from the grain farming perspective, but nobody doing it from the dairy perspective. So I kind of want to do that and show people that you can do it, and I know you can do it. Everyone says you can't do dairy you can't start a dairy farm on very little money. Everyone always tells me, oh, you need $1 million and you need to go do this and that and this other thing. Well, I've been around the block enough and grew up on a broke farm to know that you can get shit done on very little money. Nothing new to me, but yeah, so. But at least the one nice thing about the place I'm looking at is, yeah, it's in my dad's hometown, which my dad actually still lives there, so I would also be able to not just, you know, have to find all equipment, but I can literally use my tractors and my dad's tractors and a lot of my dad's equipment. I wouldn't really want to use that old manure spreader of his, because that really wouldn't really handle hauling manure out a lot, that old ground drive shit spreader. And the biggest thing is I've dreamed of this place in a long time, and it's close enough to the family farm that I've never got to see, that I kind of really want to do this, and I'm really thinking about doing it. It's just a matter of, I got to convince somebody else that this is a good idea. And then this is also where I'd be kind of building my herd from scratch as well, again and again. But I'm willing to try this, and I'm willing to do something stupid. I've done stupid shit in my life, and I'm not afraid to do it again. Whether it gets me broke or whatever, I don't care. But, yeah, so I guess I'll cut you off here, and whether I come back, I'm not sure. Oh, we'll see. Almost forgot. Comment on the damn video, subscribe, like, whatever. Do something. Hopefully here soon it will get a little better, especially since I'm feeling a lot better now. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, comment, subscribe. Hell, like the video, dislike it. I really don't care. It just means I'm getting views if you dislike it too. Okay, bye-bye.